What's up, AI lovers? Today we're going to be talking about 3 AI stocks to buy now. Now, while companies like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, these are the ones that have been dominating the AI headlines, I think that there are 3 AI plays that I find more enticing. And stick around to the end for a look into a crystal ball of sorts on how this whole AI cycle may potentially play out if history is any guide. So, number 1, my first pick is a company called Symbotic. I've been talking about it a lot on the channel here, as well as over on my Substack. I've written a bunch of articles. I'll link to the Substack in the description below. But Symbotic is a warehouse automation company that's bringing AI to the physical world. Walmart is using them to retrofit all 42 of their regional distribution centers. And on Walmart's Q2 2024, they do fiscal years, always throws me off, earnings call, this previous earnings call, they mentioned the word automation 12 times. And here are just a few examples. They say that our automated e-commerce fulfillment centers are achieving efficiencies of 30% higher units per hour than non-automated buildings. You can expect us to continue investing in the areas we've talked about, like technology, including automation, and we'll unlock value for shareholders through the combination of our physical automation work with our data and increasingly intelligent software. So that was all from Walmart's Q2 earnings call that they just had a week or two ago. So again, if you're interested in learning more about Symbotic, I made tons of videos. Next up, my number 2 pick is Amazon. I think that Amazon is a fantastic stock all around. And when you compare it to, its big tech peers, I really believe it's the most undervalued, especially if we compare it to, let's say, Apple, Microsoft. This company is bringing in more revenue than Apple. Right? Obviously, it's got much lower margins, but I think that that's something that we're starting to see improve over time. They've got different segments, the bulk of which is coming from the retail business, but they've got this advertising segment, services segments that are growing at a much higher rate and that have higher margins. So anyway, I've talked about all that in previous video as well and articles. But I think that they have the largest moat, Amazon, when it comes to all these big tech companies. They're also an AI play, and I don't think they're really getting any credit for it today. So their CEO, Andy Jassy, in the past some interviews on the calls, he stated that he believes when it comes to AI, we're currently kind of in this hype cycle, and what follows is going to be the substance cycle. So it's still very early. And he stated on their last earnings call, we think of large language models and generative AI as having 3 key layers, all of which are very large in our opinion, and all of which AWS is investing heavily in. So, while things like ChatGPT, Bard, they've been getting all of the attention, people don't really think of Amazon when they think AI, but Amazon has been developing their own AI chips for years, right? They're using them for inference, they're using them for machine learning. And I think with AWS, they'll be able to bring AI to companies and they can bundle it together with all of these other essential services that these companies are already using them for. And we've obviously seen this huge run up with NVIDIA, which is a bet on there being a demand for AI, right? NVIDIA is kind of an investment into the picks and shovels of the gold rush here, right? They're betting that there's going to be demand for these chips and GPUs that we need for AI. Obviously, NVIDIA is kind of providing a lot of the essentials today. Get into that a little bit more later. But while other companies are building, LLMs, large language models, ChatGPT and Bard have been super popular, there's much bigger use cases coming, and I think Amazon is well positioned to capitalize on them. I've also written about Amazon. You can check that article out on my Substack as well. The number 3 pick is a little known company that I love called Tesla. Of all the companies, I believe Tesla is the one with the most ambitious plan to truly bring AI to the physical world through both their full self-driving initiative for the cars and their autonomous robot, right? Both of these are paradigm shifting ideas that if they are successful, will undoubtedly make Tesla the biggest company in the world. FSD beta continues to improve. Just the other day, Elon posted a 45-minute video on X showing how far it's really come, where he drove the car around, or the car drove itself, I should say. And, it's navigating construction areas. There's bicyclists on the road that it's avoiding and more. So I think that this FSD, this vision-only approach that they're taking with the cars is kind of going to become directly applicable to the humanoid robots that they've more recently announced. And I think progress on the bot is going to move a lot faster than people are anticipating. I mean, they've already come so far in like the year since they've announced it. So who knows where these things are going to go, but if either one succeeds, they're going to become the biggest company in the world. Now they're also working on Tesla's also working on their Dojo supercomputer, which is projected to be a top 5 supercomputer in the world next year. And it should significantly improve Tesla's computing power and enable them to train their full self-driving tech much faster than ever. Elon has stated that Tesla plans to spend $2 billion on AI this year, 2023, and another $2 billion on AI training next year, specifically with a focus on the compute that they need for this FSD training. Additionally, they had this $300 million GPU cluster just go online on Monday and run on NVIDIA H100s. So Tesla is working on this compute power that should really be able to take everything to the next level. Now, if history repeats, or maybe it just rhymes, here is a chart showing you the roadmap for the mobile internet. If we use the mobile internet as a case study, how these cycles play out, how they get monetized. So if the mobile internet cycle is any guide for the AI cycle that we're now kind of entering, here's an idea of what we can possibly expect, right? As in the chart on mobile internet, we're kind of seeing the same pattern play out again here, where you've got the semiconductor aspect first, right? Back then it was Qualcomm and ARM. Today, at least right now, it's NVIDIA at the helm of demand, this time around, at least so far. And NVIDIA just guided for another quarter of record revenue. So I'd say we're still in the semiconductor part of the cycle, right? While we've seen this massive blow up of NVIDIA stock, up hundreds of % year to date. So the semiconductor phase is, in full force right now, and could go on a couple of years. But next comes eventually this infrastructure and devices cycle, part of the cycle, which I think companies, like I mentioned, Tesla and Symbotic, are greatly positioned for, right? Tesla has this fleet of autonomous cars. It's improving each day, and they're developing a humanoid robot. Symbotic also has autonomous robots that handle inbound to outbound and everything in between in a warehouse. Now, I would again, put Amazon in the software and services category when it comes to AI, same as they were in the onset of the mobile internet in the chart here. They do have their own in-house warehouse automation system. They just have no intention of sharing it with anyone else. Whereas companies like Tesla and Symbotic, they're really primed to capitalize on both categories as they sell infrastructure and devices as well as software and services. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What are your favorite AI picks? Do you think AI is just a massive bubble and we're going to be on to the next thing in the next 12 months? We kind of did see that play out with things like crypto, VR, here today, gone tomorrow. But it does seem like AI is much more legitimate in that we're already seeing the use cases. Even a company like Meta, they were recently talking about how with their AI, these enhanced algorithms, people are spending 24% or so more time on Instagram. So these things are clearly working. I guess it all kind of started with TikTok, with their algorithms just being best in class and getting people hooked. So let me know what you guys think of AI. Is it here to stay, and what companies do you like the most? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave me a comment below, and check out my free Substack in the description below. This is Vinny from the Investment Club, and I'll see you guys next time.